How did a place with no large rivers, enormous oceans, or bountiful resources become the spiritual center of half the world? This is the tale about Israel and Palestine. Two peoples, two countries united by faith, wounded by history, yet nonetheless full of life. A location where the history flows through every stone and prayers reverberate throughout centuries, and where trust in humanity refuses to fade. So, if you're not in a rush, take a moment to remain with us and discover the wonders hidden deep beneath this ancient nation. Jerusalem has been assaulted 52 times, besieged 23 times, destroyed twice, and taken and regained 44 times. Nevertheless, it continues to be the spiritual center of more than 3 billion people worldwide, even after thousands of years. Jerusalem rises not as a metropolis, but as a riddle waiting to be solved, nestled between the sun-scorched cliffs of the Middle East, where the desert meets the sky and the wind whispers like a forgotten fable. Though small enough to be traversed in a few hours, the weight of untold tales carved into each stone makes it enormous. This is more than just a place on a map. 3 of the world's major religions, Judaism, Christianity, and Islam, trace their sacred footsteps back to this precise spot, where earth and heaven collide, and where church bells in the morning and murmured prayers in the night resound. Every belief leads to a different route, through a labyrinth of spiritual depth intertwined with human need, hope, and history. Jerusalem continues to stand, not merely with stone and mortar, but also with an unwavering spirit, despite centuries of conflict and walls that have been taken down and rebuilt. It endures via the silent light of devotion and the tears shed by pilgrims who, upon first encountering its old walls, feel as though they are touching something that defies time and reason. Today, Jerusalem's old city is separated into 4 different areas. However, they are connected, like blood arteries passing through one holy heart. The first temple, which the Jewish people believed to be the earthly home of God, was constructed in Jerusalem by King Solomon. In or about 586 year BC, the Babylonians destroyed that temple, and today only a section of the western wall is left. However, the Wailing Wall itself has come to represent Jewish tenacity and faith throughout all time. A location where people whisper prayers, cry, and tuck their hopes between the stones like letters to the sky. Jerusalem, which is always alive with the footsteps of the devout, is a center of pilgrimage for Christians. Jesus Christ spent his last hours on earth there. He was crucified there, carried his cross to Golgotha, and is thought to have risen from the dead in the empty tomb. The Church of the Holy Sepulchre commemorates each of these holy occasions. His body was readied for burial, and millions of pilgrims from all around the world come to bow before the stone of anointing, an intensely spiritual moment that seems to calm the church's atmosphere. Every stone in Jerusalem appears to have been marked by Jesus' footprints. He prayed alone in the Garden of Gethsemane following the Last Supper, before being taken into custody and taken before Roman and ecclesiastical authorities. The following morning, he took his cross to Golgotha by the winding by Dolorosa, the path of sorrows, where he was crucified as a sacrifice for the salvation of humanity. According to Christian doctrine, he rose from the grave 3 days later, a victory of life over death, and the cornerstone of Christianity itself. Because of this, Jerusalem is more than just a historical site. It is a location brimming with faith and longing that draws millions of people in silent awe and introspection. With its busy market, historic mosques, and soaring mosques resonating the call to prayer, the Muslim Quarter, the largest of the four, radiates with vitality. For Muslims, the Isra and Miraj, two of the Quran's most amazing trips, begin in Jerusalem. Tradition holds that the Prophet Muhammad was taken by an angel into the heavens to meet with God from a holy rock on the Temple Hill. Muslims constructed the dome of the rock in remembrance of this occasion. Standing like a beacon of unwavering faith, its glowing golden dome could be seen from almost anywhere in the old city. The Armenian Quarter comes next, tiny, silent, but incredibly resilient. The Armenian community is a quiet, steady note in the lively symphony of this holy city, hidden behind old stone walls and monasteries. They don't look for praise or attention. However, they continue to uphold their ancestral faith and language customs. Through the ages, a silent flame has persisted in burning. The Armenian neighborhood is nevertheless a symbol of steadfast adherence to one's heritage, in a city that has been influenced by innumerable ethnicity and viewpoints. As though every stone in this place is aware of the tales of people who stood by their own convictions without ever shouting. All three of the great monotheistic religions hold the Mount of Olives in high regard, and it is located not far from the center of the Old City. More than 150,000 Jews are buried facing Jerusalem, marking their ultimate resting place and a silent monument to their unshakable faith in the resurrection. For Christians, the mountain is closely associated with the Chapel of the Ascension, which honors the time Jesus left this world, and the Garden of Gethsemane, where he prayed prior to his arrest. According to Muslims, it will be the site of the final judgment, when a bridge will span the gap below and let the pious enter paradise. Bethlehem, a tiny city immediately south of Jerusalem, is extremely important from a religious and political standpoint. Christian tradition holds that King David, the fabled ruler of Israel, was born there. More significantly, though, Bethlehem is thought to be the birthplace of Jesus Christ, a moment that altered the course of human history. The city is regarded as the birthplace of Christianity because of this. The Church of the Nativity is located in the center of Bethlehem today. Emperor Constantine ordered its construction in the 4th century, and it is nevertheless a potent historical reminder. The 14-pointed silver star, which commemorates the precise location where Christ is said to have been born, is located under the main altar. Hundreds of thousands of devoted pilgrims from all over the world come here every year to remember the first Christmas night, pray, and sing. But Bethlehem is more than just a preserver of holy light. It is a metropolis that is likewise grappling with reality. The ongoing Israeli-Palestinian conflict has a profound impact on Bethlehem, which is split by a tall concrete wall that is more than 8 meters high and cuts through the city, dividing land people from hope. Then a voice comes out from among the chilly, gray concrete slabs, the use of art to express resistance. The walls of Bethlehem have been turned into a massive canvas by the well-known British graffiti artist Banksy, who uses it to convey messages about politics, peace, and humanity. More than just works of art, they serve as a reminder that people can still envision freedom and use beauty to challenge cruelty during times of war. The Ark of the Covenant, sometimes referred to as God's chest, is one of the most revered and enigmatic religious symbols in human history, especially in the context of the ancient stories surrounding the Holy Land. The Hebrew Bible states that the 2 stone tablets containing the 10 Commandments that God gave to Moses on Mount Sinai were kept in a chest made of acacia wood coated with gold. It is also thought to have held Aaron's rod, Moses' brother's staff, and a jar of manna, the heavenly food. The mercy seat, where God's heavenly presence was thought to reside while the ark was present, was formed by two golden cherubim facing one another on top of the ark. The ark was more than just a sacred item to the ancient Israelites. It was the outward expression of God's earthly presence. It was kept in Solomon's temple's most hallowed and innermost room, the Holy of Holies, which was only open to the high priest, and Yom Kippur, which is held on the Day of Atonement just once a year. In addition to its religious significance, the ark was considered a weapon of God. The Israelite army thought they were under God's protection when the ark was taken into combat, and they frequently won. Yet, the greatest mystery surrounding the ark lies in its sudden disappearance. After the first temple was destroyed by the Babylonians in 586 BCE, the ark vanished from recorded history. There is no definitive account of whether it was hidden, destroyed, or taken elsewhere, and to this day, it remains one of the most enduring unsolved mysteries in both religion and archaeology. If Jerusalem and Bethlehem are places where stories of faith are told, then the Judean Desert speaks of the power of silence and unwavering devotion. Tucked into the cliffs of the rugged wilderness, Mars Saba Monastery rises like a fairy tale fortress carved into stone. Founded in the 5th century by the monk Sabas, it has upheld a life of strict asceticism and seclusion for more than 15 centuries. Women are not allowed to enter the monastery. They can only gaze upon it from a nearby hilltop. In today's noisy world, Mars Saba feels like a silent dream. A place where the soul seeks communion with the divine amid solitude. Not far from there lies Jericho, the oldest continuously inhabited city in the world. With over 10,000 years of recorded settlement. Mentioned in the Bible for the dramatic tale of its walls falling to the sound of trumpets, Jericho is also the cradle of ancient agriculture and urban civilization. thanks to natural springs, the city flourished. As an oasis in the desert, sustaining life across millennia. In a land of harsh conditions, Jericho stands as a living testament to the resilience and ingenuity of early human civilization. Don't be too quick to think of the desert as a barren land of sand and death. For even under the scorching sun and relentless dryness, nature here continues to write extraordinary stories of survival. On the steep cliffs, the Nubian ibex, with its curved horns and hooves that seem to grip stone, climbs effortlessly as if walking on flat ground. In the silence of the desert night, the barn owl spreads its wings, specially designed to fly with almost no sound, striking its prey with ghostly precision. By day, beneath the blazing sky, the Egyptian vulture, one of the few animals known to use tools, picks up stones to crack open ostrich eggs. On the ground, the caracol, swift and sleek like a living arrow, can leap more than 3 meters into the air to snatch birds in mid-flight. Above them all, the peregrine falcon, the fastest animal on Earth, dives like a lightning bolt, reaching speeds of over 300 kilometers per hour to seize its target. Meanwhile, the chameleon perched patiently on a brittle twig changes color to regulate temperature and signal its mood. Its eyes rotate independently, and its tongue, longer than its body, shoots out to catch insects in a blink. All these creatures are proof that life never gives up, not even in the desert. Next, welcome to the lowest point on Earth, the Dead Sea. Located at 430 meters below sea level. Despite its name, the Dead Sea is not actually a sea, but a hypersaline lake nestled between the borders of Israel, Palestine, and Jordan. With a salt concentration more than 10 times that of regular seawater, no living organism can survive here, hence the name Dead Sea. Yet this place is anything but lifeless. Its rich mineral content creates a fascinating phenomenon. The human body effortlessly floats on the surface. As early as the time of Cleopatra, its black mud and mineral salts were prized for beauty treatments, therapeutic benefits, and relief from joint pain and skin conditions. The Dead Sea is not just a destination, it's the oldest natural spa on Earth. However, nature is not immortal. Since the 1960s, the Jordan River, the Dead Sea's main water source, has been heavily exploited by neighboring countries. As a result, the water level has dropped by more than a meter per year, and thousands of sinkholes have appeared, swallowing roads, buildings, and even tourist facilities along the shoreline. Near Qumran, on the northwestern edge of the Dead Sea, a young shepherd made a world-changing discovery in 1947: ancient scrolls hidden in clay jars. These are the Dead Sea Scrolls, over 900 manuscripts, some dating back more than 2,000 years. They include familiar texts like Genesis and Isaiah, as well as previously unknown writings on laws, rituals, and apocalyptic visions. Far more than an archaeological treasure, the scrolls offer a rare window into the spiritual world of the Second Temple period, the very era in which Jesus lived. Masada, symbol of resistance. Perched atop a remote plateau on the edge of the Judean Desert, overlooking the vast expanse of the Dead Sea, Masada is more than just an ancient military fortress. It is a powerful symbol of Jewish resistance and the unyielding desire for freedom. Originally built in the late 1st century BCE by King Herod the Great as a luxurious desert refuge, the fortress featured granaries, rainwater systems, and a formidable defense system, making it a self-sustaining stronghold nearly impossible to conquer. But what etched Masada into the heart of the Jewish people was the event that unfolded there in the year 73 CE. After the fall of Jerusalem during the Jewish revolt against Rome, nearly 1,000 Jewish rebels retreated to Masada as their last refuge. Surrounded and facing inevitable defeat by Roman forces, they made an unimaginable decision. According to the historian Flavius Josephus, their final act was a declaration that freedom was worth more than life itself. Today, Masada is recognized as a UNESCO World Heritage Site, attracting visitors not only for its dramatic desert landscapes, but for its profound spiritual legacy. Every stone, every stairway still seems to echo with the defiance of a people who, even in despair, held on to dignity and resolve. A timeless reminder that even when all seems lost, the human spirit can still stand tall in the heart of the harsh arid. Negev Desert in southern Israel, a breathtaking spectacle emerges so surreal it feels like stepping into another world. This is Makhtesh Ramon, a colossal crescent-shaped erosion crater stretching over 40 kilometers long and 10 kilometers wide, with towering cliffs, twisted layers of rock, and surfaces painted in deep reds, burnt oranges, golden yellows, and charcoal blacks like an ancient earthbound color palette. Makhtesh Ramon is not a volcanic crater, nor the result of a meteorite impact, though its massive shape and rugged terrain might suggest otherwise. In reality, it is a rare geological formation, found only in the Negev and a few other places around the world. Over millions of years, erosion by windwater and tectonic activity wore away the center of a mountain range, leaving behind this vast sunken valley, a dramatic cut across the surface of the Earth. For geologists, Makhtesh Ramon is a natural laboratory ideal for studying the evolution of the Earth's crust. Each exposed layer of rock reveals ancient stories of prehistoric seas that once covered the region of tectonic shifts, and of how time is etched into matter by the forces of nature. But beyond its scientific value, Makhtesh Ramon offers a deeply spiritual experience. In its overwhelming vastness, one feels humbled, dwarfed by nature's raw, silent grandeur. By night, it becomes one of the best stargazing sites in the Middle East. No city lights, only the Milky Way stretched in full silence above a crater millions of years old. Makhtesh Ramon stands as proof that nature, with patience and time, can craft wonders beyond even human imagination without ever needing our intervention. Our journey through Israel and Palestine reveals that this land is not only steeped in history, but also a place where faith, memory, and humanity have intertwined for thousands of years. If you found this journey meaningful, please like the video, subscribe to Travel Hidden Portals, and leave us a comment. Every response is a source of motivation that helps us keep sharing more extraordinary stories. Thank you, and we'll see you on the next adventure.